Every man for himself means you lose. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. And when they say every man for himself, which is a term that we've heard over and over again in many different contexts, but in this context today, when they say every man for himself, it means you lose. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I know that that's not news to you, because we're reminded of that fact every single day. And if we watch television news, we're reminded of that fact every single hour of every single day. But I contend that we're being victimized by something far more dangerous than COVID-19, than the so-called pandemic. We are being victimized by fear, oppressive, unrelenting, ever-present fear. I'm saying that fear is much more dangerous than the pandemic because I have seen that even when people were so-called fully vaccinated, and that's a term that the meaning of it is changing on a daily basis, but even when people were fully vaccinated, they were still demonstrating behaviors that were associated with fear. And that fear is beginning to cause antisocial behaviors, with calls for non-vaccinated people to be rounded up and to be put into camps. Rounded up and put into camps. I'm reminded of that quote by the pastor of a Lutheran church in Germany during the World War II. His name was Pastor Martin Niemöller. And he ended up actually in a Nazi concentration camp, even though he was not a Jew. And his quote was, "First they came for the socialists, but I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, but I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And remember, I would love to hear from you, so use the chat box on the right side of the screen or the comment section below the video to let me know your thoughts, your questions, any shares you might want to put out there. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you, so let me know what's going on. Anyway, back to work. So it is important that we remember that we are being caught up in a frenzy that surrounds us with panic. Panic about the pandemic. Panic that something somehow is going to kill us all. Now, I'm not discounting the danger of COVID-19. I'm not discounting the effects of COVID-19. But I am telling you to take a step back for a moment and see what's going on around you. You are being separated from the most important aspect of your life. You are being separated from the one thing that can actually protect you and guide you through the dangers that surround you. You are being separated from your spiritual self. You are being separated from God. You are being snatched from your connection to infinite intelligence. Now, when all this started, this pandemic, I was amused but also disturbed by the government's decision to close the churches while at the same time declaring liquor stores as essential businesses. Liquor stores as essential businesses. So going to church was seen as a super spreader event, but drinking alcohol alone in your home was an acceptable alternative. I was further disturbed when ministers and priests were not allowed to see members of their congregations in the hospitals on their deathbeds, which left those people isolated and alone on one of the most important moments of their lives, their transition into death. Now, in my opinion, those blind materialistic decisions were even more damaging and devastating to the population than the disease itself. Our government successfully cut us off from our source of strength, comfort, and inspiration. Our heavy-handed government failed to understand the power of the spiritual community to overcome and protect us from the ravages of the fear and the panic that they themselves were creating by their own actions. The government was creating those actions. The government was creating the panic. Our government has created a panic situation where the power of spirituality is totally discounted and being replaced by so-called science. Science that is changing constantly. They have demonstrated from their constant changing declarations that they don't have the answer. They're just guessing. Now fear is the overriding factor because there doesn't seem to be any consistency in the science that we are supposed to rely upon. Do you know that an atmosphere of fear can actually harm the physical human body? An atmosphere of fear. According to the National Institute of Health, it's part of our federal government, you know, but according to the National Institute of Health, fear can compromise the immune system. Chronic fear and the stress it causes can lead to a plaque buildup in the arteries. Plaque, that's what clogs the arteries. And clogged arteries can lead to heart attacks and strokes. Chronic fear and the stress that it causes has a strong correlation with psychiatric illnesses like depression and schizophrenia. Chronic fear and the stress that it causes have been linked to malignant tumor development in cancer and suppression of our natural killer cells. Yeah, it promotes the malignant development of tumors and kills our ability to kill those cells because the capacity of fear to impair our body and our body's ability to produce white blood cells make that happen. And as a result, our bodies are rendered vulnerable to infectious diseases. So the fear they are creating makes us even more vulnerable to the disease they're trying to prevent. Please note, this is not my opinion. This is the finding of medical research and numerous studies published in the National Institute of Health, which is a part of our federal government. This is science. This is science. But those in our government and those in the media who are promoting fear don't seem to understand the impact of what they are doing. They apparently are unaware of all these studies, and they just go on and on and on creating the fear. Maybe they just don't care what they're doing to us. Maybe they just don't care because the profits are too great to ignore. It is almost as if they're soul-sucking demons feeding on the dark energies of our fear and panic and raising billions upon billions of dollars. So I urge you right now, stop letting them control your lives. Those in government, those in media have been shown to have strong connections to sharing in the billions of dollars in profits generated by their fear-mongering. That's right. We have now, through rulings of the Supreme Court, allowed money to enter into our government, and the billions of dollars in profits that are being generated are also being fed to the members of our government who are supposed to be protecting us. And so I say step back. Step back from that panic that they're creating. Step back because they're taking a serious situation and making it worse by their ever-changing announcements and declarations and alarming reports. Stop depending on the word of those who say they care about you, because actually they show no hesitation in denying you the ways that you can find solace and strength, as they urge you to isolate yourselves from each other, every man for himself. And they discourage you from participating in your spiritual community, every man for himself. Or in some cases, they even prevent you from participating in your spiritual community, every man for himself. No. Stay in touch with your friends and family. Stay connected to your spiritual community. Show them love. Share their love even if they are not vaccinated. Do not let your friends and family be taken away to some camp to supposedly protect you, because it's a lie. Be there for them, and they will be there for you. And when those in authority come for you, there will be somebody there to speak up. So go within. Go within and find that powerful spiritual connection that will protect you, that will uplift you, that will actually heal you every day. Every day. Do something to strengthen your connection to infinite intelligence, because infinite intelligence never changes. Infinite intelligence is always there. Heed the words of Francis Bacon, who said, "We rise to great heights by winding a staircase of small steps." Small steps. Establish steps within your life, and that is what will save you. Begin to create habits that will serve you in building peace and confidence in your life, because you will know that you are more than just a human being. No. No. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are a spiritual being who is an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. So start each morning with a statement of acknowledgement and gratitude. Acknowledgement of the fact that you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, and infinite intelligence is always there. Gratitude for the truth of that infinite intelligence is always there. Take that knowledge and that truth deep within your heart. For as you strengthen your heart, you will also strengthen your mind. And as you strengthen your mind against that panic and fear, you will also strengthen your body and its immune system. And you will be able then to walk with confidence, protected by the words of King David in his 91st Psalm. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save me from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover me with His feathers, and under His wings I will find refuge. His faithfulness will be my shield and rampart. I will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand, but it will not come near me. Your awareness of that truth will bring you the protection of the Most High God, because no matter how bad or how good the situation is, no matter how much the fear-mongers try to panic you, no matter how much, you will know that this too shall pass, and when it fades away, when it is behind you, it will leave behind a gift to take you to the next level. No, do not do every man for himself. No. Trust. I'm not saying don't get the jab or the vaccination or whatever. That's not even the issue. The issue is the fear is what we have to break through. The panic is what we have to break through. And we can only break through that by our connection with infinite intelligence. We can only break through that by our spiritual connection. So as we ascend to higher and higher levels of spiritual awareness, then the shells will fall away from our eyes. We will see the right path without doubt, without fear, without hesitancy. And we will know that God is all there is. Infinite intelligence is all there is. And that each and every one of us is an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and joining the work we have come here to do. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. And as we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within our lives, within ourselves and within our lives, more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below the video. If you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And remember, I would love to hear from you, your questions, your thoughts, your comments, whatever. Please use the comment section below the video. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.